What's up guys, Irish Turtle here, and welcome to my latest video on how to improve at Siege. Now, this is something that I get asked a lot, and I assume it's because in a lot of my gameplay videos, I do kind of show off some pretty awesome kills as I play, even if I do say so myself. So I thought I'd make a video for you guys on how to improve. Now, these tips are 100% guaranteed to make you a better player. I've compiled all the best tips that pros use to improve at Siege. So you needn't bother looking for any other guides. These 5 tips will be all you ever need. And to be honest, once you learn these 5 things, I guarantee you'll get better. You'll be hitting those diamond and platinum ranks without any trouble at all. Now, I do have to quickly suggest that this video is kind of for those of you guys that tend to struggle a lot when you're playing the game. You know, you don't really do very well. You're looking to just sort of get better as you play. The idea of this entire video is just to help you improve and make you a better player overall to yourself and your team. Now, the tips themselves might seem a little bit odd, but I guarantee you they will 100% help you. I promise that money back guarantee if they don't. If you were spending money in this, obviously you're not. But yeah, the idea of these tips is they're just things that I've picked up while watching pro players, while playing myself, while I was playing ranked. They're things that I've learned as I've played that you just pick up with time and experience. You're not going to find these things in like a manual or a book. These are things that you will definitely appreciate knowing, and they will help you. I promise you that. Like, you will find yourself being a better player to yourself and your team as a whole, and you'll be helping your team. You'll be getting those aces on games where your teammates all die. So this is definitely worth checking out, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So without any further ado, let's get right into the list. Now, the first most important thing that will help you improve, that pros keep a secret from the rest of us, is the use of awesome weapon skins. I mean, how can you expect to get better if your gun looks crap? No one will take you seriously, and if you have an expensive weapon skin, the enemy team know to fear you. So it's very important to be getting those weapon skins out, applying them to all your guns. I suggest some of the ones from Skull Rain. They look especially good, and if you got one, it lets people know that you've played enough to earn enough renown for one of the skins. And that means you know what you're doing. I mean, how could you not if you've got that much renown? So I recommend get customizing, definitely get those colours on. Hey, even if you have to use the universal block colours, it's still worth it as people know to fear you. Secondly, to improve, remember that it's important to shout and blame your team every time you lose. Now again, this is something that you don't see at tournaments. They tend to cut away from the losing team onto the winning team, but when one team loses, the last person alive shouts at the rest of his team as it's their fault he's lost. So don't second guess yourself about anything being your fault. It's always someone else's, never yours. Always remember that. Always assume your teammates are useless, because let's be honest, in Siege, 9 times out of 10, they are. And if you don't blame your teammates, they'll never learn from their mistakes, so you'll never be able to get better yourself. And if your teammates try and push the blame back on you, well, just ignore them. They're idiots. What do they know? How could it be your fault? It's clearly theirs. My third tip for improving at Siege is to not talk to your team. As we discussed a minute ago, your team are probably useless anyway, so why should you have to communicate with them? They won't do anything good with the information you give them anyway, and it's simply 100% waste of your time. Besides, communication is overrated anyway. They've got cameras they can use, they've got eyes they can use. Clearly, you know, they can just get better on their own. Good players know what's going on at all times without talking, and nobody wants to help out new players, so why should you have to? So it's not worth learning the call-outs or anything that's related to communication, as, well, let's be honest, that takes up valuable space in your brain that could be dedicated to other more important things, like learning the map layouts. So just don't bother with it, it's not worth it. Incidentally, as a completely shameless plug, I do have a playlist called How To that does actually show you most of the map layouts for the maps, and also gives you some suggestions on some good drone spots, hiding spots, defense and attack spots. So as a completely shameless plug, it's definitely worth checking out that playlist series. I also kind of showcase how to play the operators best as well, so it's worth checking out just as a quick side note for any of you guys who might be interested. My fourth tip is when you're playing, it's important to go off on your own. If you want to get better, you can't rely on your team. They're all useless, as we said in step 2, so instead of playing with your team, go it alone. I mean, what use are the extra people really, unless you're using them as body shields? Siege is all about being the best player you can be, not about being the best team you can be. If you're on defence, roaming around from the objective, if the enemy team start taking the objective because they've killed the rest of your team, well, I refer you back to step 2, it's your team's fault. And you shouldn't bother trying to reclaim the objective. You're a roamer, the objective isn't your concern at all. So you don't have to bother with it. All good Siege players know, once an objective is taken, it isn't worth trying to reclaim it. Just revert back to step 2 and let your team know how useless they are. And in comparison, on the attacking side, it's not worth roaming around with your teammates, they're guaranteed to get you killed. You should just go off on your own and take your own route into the objective solo. And again, if the enemy team kills you, well, you can move on to step 5. And step 5 is, whenever an enemy kills you, accuse them of using hacks. If you're trying to be better at Siege, you can't assume anyone is better than you. Nobody can get a kill on you that you couldn't get on them. Nobody could shoot you faster than you can shoot them. So if someone kills you, they're clearly hacking. They're not better than you, and therefore you need to call them out on it and report them. Because then everyone knows that they're using hacks, and you aren't losing to a better player, just someone who's cheating. And then you can go back to having a go at your team for losing, and you can refer back to the other steps. So that's pretty much it. That's all my useful tips for improving at Siege. Just because I know you guys might want one more pro tip, just to help you get even better than the original 5 tips actually tell you, my final, most important and secret tip is install hacks. I mean, all the top diamond and platinum rank players use hacks, obviously. I mean, nobody gets there based on skill alone. So I recommend installing hacks and then go crazy with the wall bangs and the one-shot headshots, all that crazy stuff you can do once you've got those, wall hacks installed, aimbot, triggerbot, all that kind of cool stuff. Once that's installed, just showcase your amazing hacking skills. Make the other team feel shit about themselves because of your amazing skills. But make sure they don't know you're hacking, because otherwise they might start using tip number 5 and feel better about themselves by blaming you for using hacks. And that's pretty much it. Those are my 5 and 1 bonus tips to getting better at Siege. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to show your support, and you know which buttons to hit.
There's one in front of the fireplace to the left, I think.
So, hi. If you're still here, I'm assuming, well, rather hoping, you realised the tips I just gave are completely stupid and unserious. They're completely ridiculous if you actually think about what I'm saying, or I hope you realise that. And it was just a bit of a joke. I don't mean any of what I said. I just felt like seeing, one, how people would react to the video, to see if anyone gets really angry at me from just watching it and comments without watching the whole thing to this point. And 2, I want to know how many people would think what I said is serious, because again, I know a lot of people these days tend to watch a video and in the first 2 minutes comment already, so that I'm going to be kind of amused to see who takes it, as I said, quite seriously. I will actually be releasing an actual 5 tips video later this week, helping you guys improve at Siege if you're struggling. That will be a serious video. Like I said, this was just a joke. I will actually try and help you guys improve, so you can be a bit more like me. I'm joking. The only reason my videos are quite good with kill heavy stuff is because I do a lot of editing. You only see 5 minutes of several hours worth of gameplay. I have just as many bad games as I have good. So it's definitely worth watching out for that 5 tips video anyway. Like I say, it will probably help you guys just a little bit. In some regards, hopefully. You might know all the stuff I'm going to suggest anyway, but it might be worth a check out. But otherwise, I do hope you enjoyed this video for what it was, and that is 100% a joke. And feel free to share it with your friends. If any of them agree with what I say in the first half of the video, I recommend dropping them from your team immediately. You don't need that kind of shit in your life, and you shouldn't really be playing with people that agree with what I said. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit those like, subscribe, and share buttons if you enjoyed, and let me know what you thought of the video in the comments below. It's not my normal kind of thing, so I hope you enjoyed it. If enough of you did, I might do a few more of these, like on the maps or on the operators, just to see how those go as well. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.